Hello, folks. I'm Dan Hollifield. Welcome to Stupid O'Clock. We are promised a Joe Dog tonight, but until he gets back from the little shopping trip that he and Donna had to go on, it's just me and John and Bill and anybody else that happens to pop in.
Have you heard that it is official? There is a new definition to the word stupidity in the dictionary. Okay.
I'm
And
afraid to
and
ask.
the definition to stupidity is now getting drunk, getting on a jet airliner, and picking a fight with Mike Tyson.
Okay. That would certainly fall under one of my definitions of stupidity.
And then bitching about getting hit by Mike Tyson after you throw a water bottle at the back of his head.
Someone's got a death wish.
Some idiot got on a jet airliner behind Mike Tyson and it's Mike Tyson. So, of course, they have to be a jackass.
Of course.
And, yeah.
It's obligatory, yes.
And apparently Mike said, listen, I'm just on the jet airliner. I'm flying from the, wherever to wherever. I'm not here to sign autographs. Stuff like that. So the guy gets mad, pitches a fit, throws a water bottle at the back of Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson turns around and says, you know what? I'm the heavyweight champion of the world, and I'm about to show you what a professional boxer really does for a living. Okay. And
it was a peaceful flight from then on.
So now Mr. I'm going to pick on Mike Tyson is now, I've got some skin on the side of my head, so now I'm going to sue him and get a couple $1 billion.
And he probably will.
No, I doubt it. I think his lawyers will probably get a lot of money. He won't get anything. And some judge is going to look at him and literally go, listen, I was watching Stupid O'Clock, okay? And there's a guy on Stupid O'Clock that said that you are now the new definition of stupid. You're not getting any money for that, okay?
Yeah, really. And you're going to have to pay your own lawyer.
And you're going to have to pay your own lawyer and Mr. Tyson's lawyer.
And me, the judge.
Well, the court clerk.
Yeah. Well.
So the altercation was first shared on TMZ, I'm thinking here. And
shall return.
Now, and I'm reading the today's thing from NPR, and they're reporting it differently. Now,
Really?
Not that I'm agreeing with the way they're reporting it, but they're saying Mike Tyson repeatedly punches a passenger mid-flight, a video shows.
Oh,
they're
not.
Go
down a little farther to the part about reported that the passenger that Tyson hit was extremely intoxicated and wouldn't stop provoking the boxer in his seat. And they've actually got somebody who actually, pulled their phone out and videoed the whole thing. So, there's going to be a hello.
Yeah, it says, according to TMZ, prior to the assault, Tyson had agreed to take a picture with the passenger at the beginning of the flight on Wednesday. But the overly excited man continued to bother the former boxer during the flight, despite requests from Tyson to chill. So they do actually get
to the
down to saying that about 5 paragraphs later.
Of course.
But
you got to put the part about the axe murder first, and then you get
to well,
actually have an axe or murder anybody, or it's not news,
And that's what somebody says passenger bothers Mike Tyson and then gets punched out. You might get some hits on that, no pun intended, but or maybe a little bit of pun.
A lot of fun, actually. That was very fun.
Yeah. But when it says Mike Tyson repeatedly punches a passenger mid-flight video, and it's showing Tyson leaning over and whapping on him, that's going to get all the hits on the leg
like Leon
or on
the didn't bite his ears
interview. Oh man, I'm telling you. So
I came in. I heard the end of that. Yeah.
Bring your mic up. Bring your mic up, Dan.
Oh, okay. Picky, ain't you?
Well, if you're going to say this lovely, eloquent speech that you normally say, we'd like to hear it. So
what, me eloquent? Only in writing.
So let's see who we got. Joe Bachman in the room. We got Sarah.
Yes,
Heiser
you do.
in the
Got
room.
Sarah in there saying hi, and Joe's been here for a
Hi,
while.
Joe.
Back and forth.
Hi,
Joe was here before I was. That'll tell you something. So.
Oh, okay. He's probably busy working on an app and going, I need something to distract me from the pain of working on this app. Yeah.
I am.
Well, funny you should mention that. As if the Mike Tyson thing wasn't distracting enough. I do have one, and I'm going to post the picture in the Stupid O'Clock Messenger, where we post the links to the show. And so if one of you two will pull it up,
we're going to teach you how to do that one day.
I need to learn someday, or get the tools on this end to do it. But this will show you what I went through on Monday. And yeah.
You've heard of predictive text? Now you've got predictive Dan.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm going to bring this up. Oh goodness, what is this?
What you got?
Well, let's see if I can do it here.
If you can't do it, none of us can.
Well, it came from a cover photo that they have in this support group that I'm a member of on Facebook. So that's a bone marrow biopsy for those who don't know.
Ouch.
I wouldn't wish my worst enemies, if I had any enemies, which I don't, or at least not that I know of, to go through this. The last 4 years I've had low red and white blood cell counts, and I normally would not share personal information to me. There's Joe. Hey. There was Joe, and there's Joe again. But
I'm not punching it.
Yeah. So
that was me.
They want to make sure I don't have MDS, which you say MDS and you think muscular dystrophy. No, MDS is, and I have trouble pronouncing this name, myelodysplastic syndrome, which is where all your red and white blood cells in your bone marrow do not mature. And so when they're released, they don't do the job that they're supposed to do. And so when they're released, echo.
Sorry.
Yeah, really.
I'm sending links. Give me a link.
Right. Okay. And so basically my immune system could be compromised. There could be numerous things.
Hey, Joe. Yes. And we wouldn't want to wish that on your worst enemy either.
Well, it's the little thing on the right-hand side of that picture is the actual needle that goes in your buttocks, as Forrest Gump would say. And it's big around as a pen, as a ballpoint pen. And then that little blue plastic thing at the top, when they do the blood and bone marrow extraction out of your bone marrow, which hurts like a mofo. I will just say that right now. No matter what anybody says, oh, it's a little bit of discomfort. You'll feel a little bit of pressure. You're going to feel pain. That's all it is. You're going to feel Mike Tyson punching you in the head because you hit him with a water bottle on a passenger airplane type of pain. And but
he was highly intoxicated.
Yeah.
So he probably didn't feel most of that. He does now.
He'll feel it the next day.
Oh, he's going to feel it.
He'll take pictures of the bruises and say, "My goodness."
They need to put that in one of those movies that Mike Tyson. Oh, what is it? The ones where the guys get drunk and wake up in Vegas with like face tattoos and stuff like that. What's the name of that series? There's like 3 of them.
You got me.
Anyway, they need to put that guy like in the movie where he wakes up and goes, "Oh my God, what happened to my eye?" Why am I in New York?
Fight with the wrong fellow.
I got drunk on an airplane and did what?
Yeah.
Well, was it W.C. Fields that said there's a sucker born every minute or something to that effect? And so I guess in this case, there's a punching bag for Mike Tyson born every minute.
Yeah, and you should have seen what the stewardess did to the guy later on. More scars.
I've been drunk many a time in my life, and I'm pretty sure I've never picked a fight with Mike Tyson.
I've been drunk many times in my life, and I'm happy to say that I don't remember picking a fight with anybody.
Same here.
A few times I've ever been drunk, I just fell asleep.
When the next edition of Webster's comes out, okay, under the definition of stupid, they need to have that guy's picture. That's just all I'm saying.
Put that in your Funkin' Wagnalls.
Well, we're just going to have a talk with Emmanuel Lewis and see if he'll do that for us.
Oh.
Hi, Joe.
Hey, sorry I was late. It's been madness at the doghouse.
No, we misunderstood.
What is today? Thursday? Tuesday, Donna felt like she was having stomach cramps, the PMS stuff.
You're not going to be a daddy again, are you?
Oh, no. Long story short, she already had it. She was, having cramps, and then the next day she was puking her guts loose.
You are going to be a daddy again.
She already had it. Kidney stone.
Ooh.
Ouch.
Yeah, she spent last night at the hospital.
Did they have to do the ultrasonic shooter thing, or did they just give her a lot of vinegar?
Evidently, she already passed the stone before he got her to the hospital.
Yeah.
So that don't keep it from hurting much.
No.
Country Time Lemonade will help you pass those kidney stones pretty quick.
And you want to stay away from sweet tea.
True story.
Because most southern kidney stones are sweet tea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They make, it's kind of interesting if you can find it. There is a apple cider vinegar drink you can buy. They sell it here at Ingles. I'm sure you can find it at other grocery stores. But it's kind of interesting in that it's apple cider vinegar, but it's got berry flavor to it, honey and berry flavor.
Okay.
What a way to ruin perfectly good apple cider vinegar. Why can't you just drink it straight like everybody else?
Well, apparently they flavor it, and it's supposed to be a pretty darn good drink for getting rid of kidney stones.
That's what Michelob is for.
Exactly.
Amen.
Hey,
we don't do apple cider.
One of the best
vinegar
things
here.
you can do to help keep from getting kidney stones is drink a couple of beers every day. And water.
I should be good to the 38th century.
Well, let me rephrase that. Water that doesn't have a lot of calcium and limescale in it. Okay. Where I live, you drink a glass of water here and you wind up with kidney stones.
Where I live, you drink a glass of water, you never need Geritol in your life.
You turn the tap on and you hear the gravel moving down the pipes. Our limescale is pretty bad.
So my takeaway from this is I need to switch from amaretto over to beer.
Yeah, just if you want to avoid kidney stones, the unfortunate side effect is that every 30 minutes to an hour, you have to leave the room. So this is not conducive to a smoothly flowing chat show, but
We've gone from Mike Tyson punching out some guy in an airliner to kidney stones.
Yeah. And when, we thought it was appendicitis, and the doctor came in and did a few pokes and all that, and says, "Have you ever had kidney stones before?"
You have
you
now.
got them now.
Yes.
And she's going, "No, it's not kidney stones. It's something else." And she argued with them up until the doctor today goes, your urethra has been enlarged. You passed a kidney stone. Well, I didn't feel it.
The hell you say?
You're
complaining about something, Donna.
She said, "I had 2 kids. I know what pain is. I didn't have a kidney stone."
She lives with Joe Dog. I told you.
And we lost Bill. That was enough for Bill.
No, that's the borrowed internet. We can't pick on Bill for that. He doesn't pay the bill for it. Oh, there he is. Pop him back in.
All right.
There we go.
And Carl says he's got kidney stones too. Fun. Well, I'll tell you, I'm having sympathy pains. When that doctor said kidney stones, I went, "Oh." He goes, "You okay?" And I said, "No, sympathy pains." Oh.
There's 2 kinds of kidney stones. The ones like Donna had where, you don't really have any evidence that you had them, but the doctor says, yes, you had them. And there's the other kind of, to bring them home in a glass jar and they go jingling-a-ling-a-ling. So
the one kidney stone I passed that was keepable was the size of an orange seed and looked like a pineapple.
I started to say you're using it for a golf ball out of revenge.
Speaking of sympathy pains, pretty sure I just had some.
You'll put your eye out, kid.
But that was the best way to describe it. It was about the size of an orange seed and looked like a pineapple.
Yeah, those things were not known for being smooth and ergonomically shaped to move.
Yeah.
It's more like they want to claw their way out.
And if Joe's had, and Joe will understand, passing a kidney stone is not peeing it out. It's getting it to your bladder.
It's like trying to get a BB out of a tube of toothpaste.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's trying to suck a tennis ball through a garden hose.
Both of those images I could have lived without having in my mind.
And now that image will live rent-free for a while.
I do believe if Alice Cooper is watching, he's going to write a song about this. If not, he's going to suggest Weird Al write it.
Yeah, it definitely sounds more Weird Al-ish.
Mm.
Oh. All right.
Billion-dollar kidney stones.
Quick question for you guys. Have you ever heard of an Indian corporation? It's out of India. Called Tata. I've probably mentioned it on the show on several occasions.
Yeah, they built
I don't know what it is.
Well, they make trucks and cars, but they're also a steel company. They make steel. They're one of the largest steel manufacturers in Europe and Asia, strangely enough. And
sorry,
Bless you.
I couldn't get to the mute button in time.
That's okay.
Sorry about that.
But anyway, they're one of the largest steel manufacturers in Europe and Asia, and just nobody in the United States heard of them because they won't do business in the United States for various reasons. But they have just announced that they have quietly disconnected themselves from any Russian metal suppliers for their steel factories. Even though India won't actively say, "Hey, Russia, you need to quit doing this," they're kind of straddling the fence because they don't want to lose all their Russian military suppliers. But Tata said, "Hey, that's wrong." And they've just so slowly found new suppliers for their steelmaking manufacturer. And then they finally announced today, "We're done with Russia." So,
hey,
and the Russians are like, "What?"
Well,
what? What are we supposed to do with all this chromium? Stick it up your ass and see what it does.
No, not chromium. That's cancerous. Wait a minute. Let me reconsider that. Yeah.
How do you win a war? You bankrupt them.
Yep.
Mm.
Hey, it worked for Reagan.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he knew it.
What was that quote from the 50s? We will bury you. We'll outlive you.
Good. Send us a bill.
Okay.
And the thing is, Reagan made them bankrupt themselves on technology that didn't exist.
And they still don't have it. That's what's funny.
Yeah.
There was this great political cartoon I saw in the newspaper. I got it and I saved it. I clipped it out somewhere and I've got it in a picture frame somewhere. I have to go dig it out one day. But it shows this Star Destroyer from Star Wars orbiting the Earth, but the bridge on it is the White House. And it says, "Excuse me, Mr. President, Mr. Gorbachev would like to talk with you about limiting the Star Wars budget."
And George Lucas is online too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And speaking of all that, another $6 billion, I think, was approved today to go for defense for Ukraine.
Oh.
Believe that happened late this morning or early this afternoon.
Mm.
Oh, did you hear the oil company execs have been summoned to Capitol Hill?
Oh, about the price gouging?
Yeah.
Good.
They're claiming it's inflation and all this, and then they reported one oil company $40 billion in a quarter profit.
Yeah, this all happened way before the war.
Yeah.
And so there's, come here. That's twice what we give NASA a year. And you pulled it in 3 months.
Hey, I wonder if Hunter's going to be there.
I am thinking that.
Hey, Michaela.
Hey, Michaela.
And I don't know if y'all said hi to Sarah, but Sarah's popped in. I'm saying hi to her now.
Yep. There is a French solution to this. The trick is to know when to stop.
Mm.
But that's rather.
No. What needs to be done is for an entire month, one certain brand of gasoline, nobody buy it. Just one particular brand. Then the next month you switch to another brand.
Figure out who made the most money. And
after a month of one oil company not selling any, they're going to be sitting on it. And gasoline now has an expiration date.
That's what I'm saying. Figure out which company made the most money by price gouging, and that's the company you basically boycott.
Yeah, you start with them.
Well, that wouldn't change my habits very much. I only buy one tank of gas every 3 weeks. Yeah.
To be honest,
Mine's every 3 days.
I get all my gasoline at Costco, so I got a really good car.
Okay, Michaela. She's going to grab a snack.
Wonder Stephanie's going to be on.
No,
she's not feeling. She just finished a writing job and an editing job, and she hasn't been sleeping all that well. And she's trying to recover from all the extra work and everything else, and she says she will be with us again, but not tonight. Just did not get enough sleep over the last couple of days, and she's trying to make up for it now.
And I will not be here Saturday.
Ah,
I will be for Stupid O'Clock, but not Last Man Standing.
On Saturday?
Yeah.
well,
I'm in bed by the time you guys start Stupid O'Clock on Saturday, so
I should.
We'll call you.
Huh, Joe?
Time to give Joe a call and wake him up.
if this construction project ever starts, I'll be able to join you guys live from a construction site. But
Hey.
God.
Those
We were
are
coming
fun.
back Tuesday from Chicago, coming down I-57. They were just starting a construction project. They're doing bridge repairs over I-57. And so they have a detour. And the detour goes through the heart of Kankakee, Illinois. 2 lanes roads. You had backed up bumper to bumper traffic. And you could see the other ones coming from the south trying to get north going through there. And I'm thinking, I've taken a lot of odd detours over the years because of construction and that, but I've never had one this insane. And the only thing I could think of is all the people that were living on these 2-lane residential streets that 15 million truckers and cars and semi, or, you know, every type of vehicle that normally goes up and down I-57, which is a big north-south route from Chicago going south, and going by their house from 8 p.m. at night to 8 a.m. in the morning for about the next 4 months.
I don't know if it's the same in Illinois, but I know here in Indiana, when we actually close a road for construction, we are only allowed to detour onto other highways, actual state, either state roads, U.S. highways, or interstate.
Yeah, they typically will do it a little better to where you're just moving up your exit or on-ramp, off-ramp, whatever they're working on, and that. And they have one on 57 and I-74 that it's one that's been much needed improvement for a long time because of the way it was originally designed. Semi trucks were jackknifing and flipping over in the winter time, really bad. They're kind of straightening it out a little bit more, but yeah, this is going right through the heart of Kankakee, and I'm trying to think of a city that might be similar in size that all of you could relate to, but I can't think of it right now.
Oh, what was it? Oh, Michaela. Working on a new series of books and still dabbling in the Warriors series. Michaela, is that the Western romance that you were talking about earlier, like a week or so ago? I mean, you are quite welcome to branch out into other fields because you do what you do so well. Yeah, it's sure to take off. It really is, and I wish you the best of luck. Mr. Bachman, you might be commiserating with me on this one. Our county DOT has begun patching up some of the secondary roads around here. And about 6 months ago, they started filling in potholes and laying down what was originally a nice, smooth driving little patch. They didn't repave the entire road. But 3 months later, the potholes were back. in the same place to the same depth. And I'm going, do they not learn that these are the places where water pools and freezes and busts up the asphalt that they're laying down, and just it's like fragmentation grenades for highways. But
the other issue probably is too, if they were just doing the surface layer, it's a temporary Band-Aid.
Well, I mean, they filled in a 3-foot deep pothole, and now it's back.
It's a Band-Aid on a bullet hole.
Yeah, we got people stocking the damn things with trout.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest issues. One of the biggest gripes we get from people in Indiana here too is, some of these roads actually need to be fully redone, literally from the dirt up. And it's of course cheaper for the county or the state to just go through and say, okay, we're going to mill off 4 inches and put 4 inches back on. Which sometimes that works. If your base layer is still good, you'll get another 20 years out of that road before you got to really work on it again. And there's other ones that we need to just shut down the road, tear it all out, and start over again.
Yeah. These are in rural residential neighborhoods. So the biggest traffic they get is farmers with tractors.
Yep.
And garbage truck?
Nope, ain't no garbage trucks out here. The biggest thing that's out here is occasionally you will have somebody that drives an 18-wheeler for a living that lives on the road. Otherwise, it's no through trucks. So, hey, Nick. Oh, and Michaela answered my question. Yep, that's the next series. Will be a modern Western romance. You can't keep her fingers out of the romance part. Well,
now bring up Carl's comment.
If this was
the green room, he could make such a comment.
And Nicholas, just to be fair, harassing comic book spectrum. Yes, well, that is a hobby. Yes, to be sure.
Why aren't they harassing enough?
It's a shame you couldn't do raids on other shows.
We could probably figure out a way. We're dangerous enough to where we could figure out ways to do things that would not be...
Just everybody show up and just take over the show.
It would not be ethical, but we could figure out a way to do it.
Online party crashing.
Hey, Carl has the passwords to be able to take over any of BKM's shows. So,
Ooh. Carl, send us links.
Yeah.
No, that would be evil.
Never mind the stupid o'clock.
Oh, I can see it now. All of us just pop in at the same time.
Wait a minute. But if we're going to be on BKM show, we all have to get a red fez.
I got a green one. Well, and I got a green one, but not red.
Well, I got a red solo cup. I'll just wear it.
Dan, if you put on a green one, it'll turn into that background.
Yes.
It's not that color of green.
And Nick's going, Internet Vikings, go. I mean, what would be neat is if we did it, and the thing is, steal the in-show link and sit here and go, all right, we ready? 3, 2, 1, go. And it'd go. Just to see the look on Brian's face go. And plus, no, we couldn't force ourselves on the air. Just pop in backstage, just to watch them, and be going.
No, wait a minute.
That would just be creepy. Just
If
the five of us
Carl-
just pop in like that.
If Carl has admin rights on BKM and he did it with us, he could pop us in.
Yeah, that's true.
I said it before. I'll say it again. That would be evil. We're not allowed to do that. We're supposed to be the good guys. No
You got a
matter
rat in your damn pocket.
We're supposed to be the good guys. Although evil is sometimes fun to contemplate.
Dan's got that good Dan and bad Dan on his shoulders, and he's listening to the wrong damn one.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, the devil on my left shoulder has leaned around behind my head to the angel and went, "Help me, help me."
Okay.
I'll make it worth your while.
I used to do demolitions in the military. Okay. My devil and my angel are fighting to see who gets to press the igniter. Okay.
I don't know if you guys noticed Carl's comment. Next time he hosts, remember all these volunteers.
Yeah, really.
I'm going to have to make sure I'm listening to BKM shows now to see.
Hey, I'm at work in the daytime. I won't be there.
I won't be either.
I'm usually doing something around the yard at about the time Brian's doing the show, but occasionally if I wake up early or late, depending on what, I'll be sitting here with a cup of coffee and it'll come up, "Hey, Brian Case Morris's show is starting." And then I'll jump in. So,
no, I don't want to jump in on Never Mind the Furthermore. I want to raid Comic Book Spectrum.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
Just go in and say, "Hey, can you guys hurry up with the show? We're trying to start ours over here."
No, but have all five of us pop in at the same time.
Yeah.
Just to see the look on Brian's face. Because, see, when all y'all pop in, we get a little sound.
Yep. And if we were to pop in on one of Brian K. Morris's show, it'd pretty much be like this.
Yep.
To hell with the red fezzes. Let's all get one of those yellow squeaky toys like that and just start putting it in our mouth and shaking our heads up and down.
The rubber chicken joke. The rubber chicken squad. Yeah. Oh, Lord.
We would derail that show so badly from behind the scenes.
Oh, hey, I got a Svengoolie shirt around here too somewhere.
We derail our own shows with no apparent effort.
Comic Book O'Clock. How about Stupid Spectrum?
Stupid Spectrum.
Never mind the stupid more.
Stupid Comic Spectrum?
Yeah.
No. Oh, Lord.
We better not use that one. If we say Stupid Comic Spectrum, they'll think it's a DC show. No.
I was watching an episode of American Pickers last night, and Mike bought a copy of Amazing Fantasy number 15 for $4,500, and then he took it to have it graded and got about another $1,000 out of the grade. And but then they started showing all the problems with it and the rips and the roll mark on everything else. I was like, what the hell? It's Amazing Fantasy 15. You know, it's first appearance of Spider-Man. Who cares?
Never mind the stupidity. Yeah, Fecal Revenge would be us raiding the show for sure.
That's the name of my new punk rock band, let me tell you. And they're the opening act for Anal Seepage. Good God. What is going on with my head?
Hey,
Dan. It was going to be anal glaucoma showing up instead of anal seepage, but they couldn't see their asses coming to the show.
You should name the band Fecal Cabaret because it's a real shit show.
Oh, we could do show tunes covers. Yep.
Okay, that's.
Apparently, she went into his bedroom one night, peed on his pillow, and then went and laughed about it with a bunch of girlfriends. So, yeah. She's all kinds of weird. Which just goes to prove the old adage that no matter how good looking she is, somewhere some guy is tired of putting up with her shit.
Nick.
What was that? What was that potato chip that Lay's put out? Olean?
Olean, that was the one that had whatever that fat substitute stuff was, and one of the warnings for it was may cause anal seepage.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a brand of what is it? Gummy bears.
Sugar-free gummy bears.
They put a warning on it. Do not eat the entire package. Otherwise, you will have an explosively...
was it may cause gastronomical distress.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that brings us
to the human version of Drano.
Which is a lot like saying putting a label on the bottle of nitroglycerin that said "Do not drop." It's...
This gives a whole new meaning to the term explosive decompression.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that's why they're banned at many conventions.
What, gummy
parties?
Bears? Oh, yeah.
Sugar-free gummy bears at
Sugar-free gummy
ring
bears.
parties.
It's actually there are actually some con rules pages that say no sugar-free gummy bear.
And this brings us back to my bone marrow biopsy from Monday.
Well, we weren't going to say that you were probably shitting yourself from the pain, but we can if you want us to.
Well, unlike the illustration, I couldn't lay on my stomach during the procedure because I'm bone on both knees, and it would be too painful on my knees. So I laid on my side, and the railing that they had pulled up from the bed, I grabbed onto it with one hand, and I told them that there's probably going to be indentations in that railing when they got done, and they told me you wouldn't be the first one.
Hey, John, pull up the Amazon reviews on the gummy bears and read a couple of them.
But I'm reading. Oh, the thing we're talking about was Olestra was the name of the factory.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And
there's some off-brand potato chips that have something similar in it. If you eat the entire package, you will suffer the explosive decompression. Oh, Michaela. Let me pull this one up. Sold a book today. You can buy groceries this week. If I sold a book today, I could probably buy 1 can of beer. Oh. Well, in that case, I must have sold an entire case of books today. But Lindsay did the grocery shopping, so had to go, and first time ever doing the Ingles grocery pickup. We've been doing Kroger for quite a while.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
I typed in Amazon review sugar, and the first thing that came up was free gummy bears.
Dan, I use the Walmart delivery.
Mm-hmm.
For $8, they load 34 pounds of dog food, 40 pounds of cat litter, 10 pounds of cat food, all my bottled waters. I normally get 2 or 3 cases of bottled water a month. And for $8, they bring it and put it on my front porch.
I'm guessing your Walmart is closer than the 35 miles it is to my Walmart.
But yeah, that online ordering and even going and picking it up is wonderful.
We've only ever had one pizza place that could deliver out here, and nobody else. The U.S. mail doesn't even like to deliver this far out. I mean,
They got no choice. They got to.
I know, but they asked for military escorts and
there's some place out in L.A. where the postal service just quit delivering to them because a couple of their delivery people got assaulted. So that neighborhood ain't getting mail right now.
Oh.
They have to go and pick up their mail at the post office.
Mm.
That was in the news like 2 weeks ago.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but usually for here, that would be contraindicated for groceries because they'd be growing green fur by the time that they were actually delivered out this far.
We've had a lot of problems with actually Walmart and Meijer both, people ordering their groceries to have them brought to them. And they would bring them to them, but they would bring them some of the wrong stuff, or they would omit certain things.
Mm-hmm. I think our biggest problem is X item is not in stock. We have substituted Y item, which you cannot possibly use because it's like substituting toilet paper for a Hershey
Paper
bar.
towels.
No, a Hershey bar, you know.
Yeah.
I was going to say sandpaper, but
Hey, sandpaper would be more welcome. I've had John's chili. I mean, seriously.
Guatemala privatize their mail service.
Well, Guatemala's not a tiny country either. I mean, it's not huge, but it's not tiny.
Isn't mail service in the Constitution?
No.
It's not.
Nope.
Okay.
And one of the reasons everybody gets pissed off about people going, oh, we've got to do something about the U.S. mail. It's costing taxpayers money. No, it's self-supported. It doesn't have anything to do with taxes. It does not touch any taxpayer money. All the stamps you buy, that funds the entire thing.
Yep. They went up again, and people will gripe about it, and then you're going to say, well, look at what they have to do.
Oh, just their fuel costs alone. I mean,
well,
yeah.
Look, you think the mail service is expensive? Mail a letter through UPS or FedEx.
Oh yeah.
And they actually are using postal carriers on Sundays to deliver
Amazon,
UPS, and FedEx, or FedEx, I think it is.
FedEx, yeah.
Yep. And half the time when we order something small from Amazon, it makes great speed all the way across the country from wherever it's coming from. And then it gets to our local post office and sits there for about 6 weeks. And no, that's nothing about our local post office. They do the best they can. It probably does not get there on time.
Yeah.
Well, I can't complain about Amazon over here. Well, we see them when we're traveling north. That's all you see going up and down. And they're actually building a new facility up by Chicago that is huge. It goes for blocks and blocks and blocks. And this thing is going up like a weed growing in the middle of the summer. And but like this, I got this Back the Blue hat just from them on Tuesday, and in 2 days. And most all of my I had ordered a heating pad. It came in 1 day. The only problem I had was some compression bandages that I'd ordered, and they were small. And that actually might have been my mistake. But the returns are pretty good. You can return to any UPS store or Kohl's, depending on what the item is, and get that taken care of and order what you wanted, and so mine's coming Saturday.
There was a Amazon facility, I think it's still there, over in Gary off of 15th Street, and we had closed down one of the ramps from one of the local roads onto the interstate, so we had to detour them around. And so I'd run the detour route, make sure our signs were up, and this place, literally, there was vans just all the way, just stacked up, waiting to be filled. And you look across the street where Ozinga Concrete was at, and more Amazon vans were sitting in their parking lot waiting their turn to get filled.
May I do a public service announcement, please?
All right.
If you have observed the expression on my face a few minutes ago, you might have guessed that for some reason I was in a little bit of unexpected pain. For those of you who have had chickenpox as a child, when you reach the age of 50 and older, please do go have your shingles shot, because what I am feeling is pain worse than the worst arthritis that I have ever suffered. And it is unpredictable, and it doesn't have anything to do with how cold it is or whether it's raining or whatever. It's just every once in a while where that was, and it's not fully healed yet, it feels like somebody just took a 3-pound sledgehammer and smacked my hand where the worst bit of it was. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. And believe me, I've had some enemies that I have wished a lot of really bad things on, but this is not one of them.
No, I wish a kidney stone on people every now and then.
Oh, that'd be a walk in the park. Seriously. It feels like somebody's welding on my hand.
Yeah, I watched my brother go through some horrible pain with shingles that he had, and of course he was diabetic, so that just complicated matters. And I will say, get your shingle shots. There's 2 shots for you to get, unlike a lot of the shots these days that they keep telling you get more and more and more of. You get 2 shots and you are good for life. You would never have to get them again, and then you will not have to worry about the shingles. And it was worth it.
According to the Human Resources Department at work, once you reach age 50, your work insurance, if it's worth anything at all, will cover these shots, and you won't have to pay a dime. It depends on if your insurance is worth a damn, but once you reach 50, it's like, oh, okay, here you go. Have a nice day. Come back in 3 months for the next one. And then, like Bill said, that's it for life. I wish I had known this before I ever had this little outbreak here. But the entire experience was pretty much if you had boiled an entire pot of water to make tea or coffee and then just poured it from the middle of my back down to my thumb on my left hand, and then started hitting it with wooden mallets and small sledgehammers day after day after day. So, I mean, it itches, it burns, and it aches. So, this is just one of those things. Didn't know. Now I'm suffering the consequences of being ignorant, but hopefully I can enlighten other people that are about to reach my age range and are within the parameters of developing this unfortunate happenstance. So,
And my pharmacist at Walgreens said if you have family who's had issues with shingles before, you should go get your shots even if you're not 50. If you're 45, if you're 40, if you're 35, they highly recommend it.
yeah, because once you've had the pair of them, it's forever.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to have any more. It's not like a yearly flu shot. It's two and done, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to bring the mood down. I mean, we were having a great time talking about the explosive decompression and.
I don't trust the vaccines anyway. 2 shots. Why can't one just do it? It's all fake. It's fake news. It's fake science. They're trying to implant chips into you.
No, I implant a huge number of chips into me voluntarily. I mean, they're Munchos or Lays or something like that. But
I had baked Lay's barbecue tonight, so
that's why they have 99-cent tacos. Get you to take the chips voluntarily.
Oh yeah,
with queso.
Yes,
every Tuesday.
I like mixing queso and salsa together.
Yeah,
I think tonight's whole show has been about pain. Mike Tyson to bone marrow biopsies to shingles,
kidney stones.
Tonight's subject is pain. Yeah. And I think we ought to continue this conversation next Thursday night on Comic Book Spectrum. Carl?
Do you think Brian would get mad at us if Carl had sent us the link and we all 5 popped in at the same time?
With ops.
Oh God.
Yeah, I think he might be no. He would not get mad. He would just turn Cookie loose on us. We'd all regret it for the rest of our lives.
Well, we just make sure we don't put our names in, and we all wear black hoods, and then have the rubber ducks just flapping in front.
So we all show up dressed as a Zodiac killer and see how many lists we get on.
Put on red fezzes with COVID masks and the yellow.
And Carl probably wouldn't have the power for long.
Yeah. That's the thing about power. Once you abuse it, people keep trying to take it away from you again.
I think if we did it once, it would be just a good, funny joke.
Mm-hmm.
And they'd go, yeah, Joe Dog put everybody up to it, and that'd be it. If we did it the second time's when we'd get in trouble.
We should have done it for April Fool's Day.
Oh.
Was that on a Thursday this year? Or not?
No, it's like Halloween. It's always on Friday the 13th.
Oh.
And Sarah, she is feeling a little better, yes.
Sorry. We both clicked at the same time. I'm sorry.
Oh, just since I get off here, I got
contemplating next Thursday.
Start planning for next year. Yeah, Carl. Like we're going to remember next week or tomorrow even that we proposed this. But no.
Of course, when Brian watches this on the replay, I'll probably get a message. Don't you dare. That's when we bribe Carl for the.
All right, so set your clocks for April 1st of 2027. That falls on a Thursday. Not that I'm helping plan this or anything.
2027, right.
Okay, Michaela's saying she has a secret. Everybody stay tuned. Michaela Jade's pages. Announcement will be Saturday. Okay, well, y'all have to fill me in Monday because I am
Mm.
I won't be here. Now, how the hell did that happen?
There's two of you.
Which one is froze?
It's a $2 bill.
Will the real Bill stand up?
So, yeah, I guess we can get rid of the one that's an ice cube.
No, I'd leave that up there just see if maybe it'll catch up.
Now the other one's frozen.
Gotta love StreamYard.
Oh heavens!
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Nick. As soon as BCam tells you not to do it, you have no choice. We must do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Odd people. Oh no!
What was it? You did that one night, Joe, and we got 4 of you up here.
Yeah.
Oh Lord!
And we completely lost Bill now.
I could probably come in through different browsers.
Oh, just open up another window.
That's what I'm saying.
Bill, often imitated, occasionally duplicated.
And now the new Ronco Clone-O-Matic. How much would you pay? But wait, there's more.
I could use a couple
this
clones
fishing
myself.
rod. Oh Lord!
Could you imagine if I was a twin?
You wouldn't be for long.
We'd have to figure out which one was good and which one was evil.
No, that would be one of those. We just can't take any chances.
The devil will know his own.
Like I said, the devil on my shoulder leans around behind the back of my head to the angel. Help me. Help me.
It's like that joke from Men in Black 2.
You got some weird sounding cats.
It's like that joke from Men in Black 2. He blows the guy's head off and he goes, "Hey, you're back." He goes, "No." He says, "Well, how'd you know his head would grow back?" He goes, "It grows back."
Do you have any idea how much that stings?
Why do you think I did it?
Oh. And now for something completely different. Or now for something the same.
Oh, did y'all see my 7 year ago post? Memory?
You know, I've got to say, I have not been spending a lot of time on Facebook here lately.
Let me read it to you. So I'm just embarrassed about the time I Googled grandfather clocks and didn't check my spelling. The horrifying pictures that popped up are forever burned in my brain. And I had to do it while Dan was drinking.
I'm going to get you for that. I'm going to get you for that.
Hey, Dan just forgot about his shingles.
Wait till you start drinking your moonshine at HallowCon. I'm going to be standing there with a cigarette lighter, motherfucker.
Hey, I didn't cause it. Hey.
Have a good night, Carl.
Say goodnight to your eyelashes. Yeah.
Good night, Carl.
Good night.
Good night, Carl.
Yeah.
Carl's
deniability. Yeah, like that's going to happen. Oh,
Dad, you killed the zombie
response-
Flanders. Flanders was a zombie?
In response to Nick's comment, yes, the permission would still apply. That's kind of an inside joke, but
okay.
Oh.
no I'm not going to tell that one. I thought of something, but no, I'm not going to tell that one. That would be rude. Shut up. Yeah, you too.
I could keep on the subject of pain and talk about learning another programming language now, but
I'm being summoned. I will take this one on the iPad. No, my pirate friend wants to know something technical.
Yes, it's still illegal.
How to take over the ops on Comic Book Spectrum.
It feels so good.
Is it JC or RWR?
It's SS.
Okay, I don't know who that one is.
Nazi zombies. Cool. Or Nazi pirate zombies.
I still say I have the perfect Halloween haunted house character. If I just find the right person to do it. Midget zombie clown.
On that note, I have to go equalize some pressure because all of a sudden it felt like explosive decompression was going to happen. That was frightening. Thank you. Do not do frightening well.
Joe, you like that idea, don't you?
Oh, I do. Especially being a former clown, yes.
I mean, you get three for the price of one.
Midget zombie clown. I knew a person of shorter stature that would probably would along with that happily.
See, I used to work at those commercial haunted attractions, and we had this guy who was born without legs, walked around on his, used his arms to motivate, and the gimmick was we cut him in half and rolled him out on the floor.
Nice.
You talk about freaking people out.
Oh yeah. I worked at one. There was a small one that was in Valparaiso, Indiana, that the fire department would put on, and it was all volunteers. We didn't get paid for it or anything, but my neighbor and I would go help out with it, and she would generally be one of the guides bringing people through, and then I would either guide people or I would a lot of times dress up in all black. Had black shoes, black pants, black shirt, a black cape, and then I had the black hood where I could see out, but you couldn't see my face, and I'd just go find a dark corner.
Oh yeah.
And wait for people. And there was one. It was a 2-story house that they did this in, and the one upstairs area. As soon as you came up the stairs, you were walking through this dark hallway, and you were supposed to be stepping on cockroaches. Peanut shells all over the floor that they're crunching.
Yeah.
But there was this one little cutout in the wall that I could just barely squeeze into, and I could see the silhouette of people walking by from the light of the next room. And I hear these girls' voices, and I'm like, they sound familiar. So I didn't jump out at them. I just waited for them to go by, and I just walk out behind them into the next room, and one of them happened to be wearing their Letterman's jacket. It was 3 of the girls from my school. And as soon as they walked under that black light and the last name lit up, a real deep, gravelly voice, Katie Kazelki. And they stop, and she turns around. How do you know my name? And I start listing off the sports she plays and all this other stuff. And they're all just turning just ghost white, and I rip my mask off. I said, "'Cause it's me." God damn you, Bachman! I'm gonna kick your ass.
Then she really screamed.
John, do you know Barfunkel? Jeff Colbert? He's the guy that had the hearse at Red Bank.
Do you know how many people in Red Bank used to own hearses? We know at least 2.
Yeah.
It's no. Right.
No, I was working his haunted house, and we had line workers that would go in and get names. And then as they would bring them into the room, they would whisper names and what they were wearing. So I would be yelling the name, and then the name would carry through the house. Just totally flip people's minds out. And my favorite one is when I was working the line, when we, Joe, in haunted houses, stuff breaks.
Yeah.
And you got to shut down long enough to patch it, bail and wire it back together or zip ties to get it through.
Duct tape.
And then they would, they'd come tell us, hold the line. Well, what I would do is just as soon as I heard hold the line, got you. I would take my flashlight and start shining it around in the corners of the room, where the big line was, because we were in the lobby of an old movie theater.
Mm-hmm.
It was dark. I'd shine it around. And, there's nosy people everywhere. And it's, what are you looking for? Nothing, don't worry about it. I'd look some more. What are you looking for? Nothing, don't worry about it. Finally, it's killing him. What is it? What are you looking for? Okay. The pet snake got loose in the reptile room. It's running around here. We'll find it soon. Just be careful. Watch where you're going and don't step on it.
Just because it's an 18-foot reticulated python doesn't mean it's dangerous.
That's when I'd leave. I don't do snakes.
So the best scare I had was one that I wasn't even planning on doing. And it was actually right after the girls that had gone through that I knew. I had to go back outside and come back in through the front to get back to my little hidey hole. Well, there was a group ahead of me that wasn't moving very quick. So I'm kind of holding back in like the little staging area where the guide would give the rules, don't hit anybody, people are going to jump out, shit like that. And I hear the door open. I'm like, crap, this is a lit up room. I have no place to hide. And I didn't have my cape at the time. I'd actually given that to someone else when I went back outside because they were getting cold. So I'm like, because I'm standing in a dark corner, you can't see my bare arms in there anyway. So I hear the door open. I'm like, crap. So I just got up against the wall, put my arms out, head down, and the guide comes in, and I see the guide kind of look at me because there's generally no workers in there. And she's going over the rules and everything, and it was these 2 older ladies, probably in, early 50s. And the one looks at me and goes, "Oh, I suppose he's going to jump out at me, huh?" Now, mind you, my bare arms are showing. What mannequin has hairy arms like this? I bring my head up, I lurch forward, I go, like this? And she hits the corner, drops to the fetal position screaming. Her friend is about to piss herself. She's laughing so hard. The guide had to take his mask off because he's wiping away tears. I didn't think you were actually real. I have had these same gorilla arms since I was in junior high.
One of my best gags I actually stole from it was a haunted exposition up in Gatlinburg. We had may have called it the rules room.
Mm.
It was set up to look like a funeral parlor, and it had this big chandelier hanging over where the crowd is.
Mm-hmm.
I got one of those rubber ducks that has the sunglasses. You seen those?
Mm-hmm.
And put it up on the chandelier. and they're standing under the chandelier. Halfway through my spiel, I look up at the chandelier and go, duck, duck, duck. They're covering their heads, screaming bloody murder. And going, what? I said, somebody put a rubber duck on the chandelier. Look at that. The guy that was running the haunted house, when I told him I told him I was going to do that, he goes, no, you're not. I said, yes, I am. I said, let me do it once and see how it goes. I put the entire crowd in the floor. He's like, oh, God, I've spent all this money and you're pulling shit jokes, scaring the fuck out of people. I'm going, yeah. He goes, okay, you can do it the rest of the night. We had 39 groups come through that night. I put 38 of them in the floor. One of the groups came through a second time just so they could yell duck.
Joe Bachman, I have the perfect reply to that lady's statement. I didn't think you were real. You just look at her straight face and say, what makes you think I am?
She probably would have stroked out at that point.
I'll be right back.
To answer Nick's question here real quick, it was actually either 02 or 03 were my first years doing it because I was working at Staples at the time, which is why I had the black pants and shoes. So all I had to do was go out and buy a black T-shirt and had my ensemble.
Now, I've worked a couple of charity haunted houses before through people at work, and it was what was a vacant storefront in the local mall. They built a nice little maze in there and led people through, do all this, do all that. My part was to sit in a tiny room in the exact center of everything with a reel-to-reel tape recorder, a synthesizer, and some amplifiers and whatnot, and do sound effects.
Ooh.
Yeah, I did an entire soundtrack of Halloween sound effects from some record that I had gotten a hold of, and I was doing not only live but pre-recorded spooky music.
Mm.
And when the groups came through, they wanted me to stop the tape and do live stuff. And when I needed to take a break, as if run to the restroom or whatever, I would duck under the wall, get into the middle of the crowd, and follow them out to the exit. Go off to the restroom, come back. The guys would recognize me and let me go in without having to pay with the other crowd. And I'd get to the halfway point and duck under the walls to my little cubicle again. And stop the tape recorder and start doing the live stuff. And the biggest scare I had in the entire thing is I was doing this, and one of my kids was there and had sussed out where I was at and ducked into my little cubicle under the wall, and I'm going, holy, out loud, because nobody was supposed to know how to get in there because it was in complete darkness. I didn't even have a candle. It was just the instrument lights from the synthesizer and the meters on the reel-to-reel tape recorder.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have any light to see anything. And then all of a sudden my kid pops up and scares the crap out of me. That group that was going through at that time got a couple of extra scares because I screamed like a little girl. And I'm not ashamed of it because it really improved their tour. But the big thing was that there were a couple of folks at the very beginning out in the mall and said, "Oh, you're not going to scare us. You're not going to scare us." So
Mm.
the crew decided to pull out all the stops, and the very last room in the haunted house was a Frankenstein's laboratory sort of thing, and one of the maintenance men was there with a circular saw with no blade on it, but plugged in.
Mm-hmm.
So you still got the motor noise. And he started going at people in the crowd, waving the saw, and people would run out, and we had to have a mop there because of the side effects.
Sort of
What
got
you
a
do with
subject. I sort of got a subject change.
Oh,
Okay.
Dan, you're a cat person, right?
yes.
Are there any other cat people here?
I like cats, but I'm allergic to them, so
I got to know, why the hell do cats hate toilet paper?
They don't hate it. It's a toy.
yeah.
Mhm.
They don't hate it at all. It's fun.
I
They
know, it's all over. The rest of the roll's all over my damn bedroom.
They're making it easier for you to get a piece instead of keep picking at that piece to get it started. They just started the roll of toilet paper for you.
one of the one. Okay. Do you put the toilet paper so it rolls over or under and behind?
Well, if you got a cat, you need to put it behind.
That was what I was going to say.
No, the way our bathrooms set up wrong. So our toilet paper, the best way to place our toilet paper is within reach.
Okay.
You know, everybody goes, do you run it over or under? My preference is within reach.
hmm It's not necessarily mounted, but it's on display.
Oh,
Yep. The with cats, the toilet paper roll is a substitute rabbit. They just grab the darn thing and claw the hell out of it. If it's a loose roll, if it is on the wall and can spin, that's fun time right there. And if you do as the um, patent for a toilet paper roll says is the right way, you wind up with the entire roll of
roll in
toilet
the
paper on
floor.
the floor.
Mhm.
If you do it the other way because you're smart enough to know you've got cats and they're going to spin the darn thing and it'll just roll it up tighter, you still wound up with a shredded toilet paper roll. But
Yes.
yes,
Mhm.
I
but
imagine
on,
I
on
imagine that
the
is the cat version of plastic peanut packing, bubble wrap
uh,
packing. So,
yeah, yeah, or yeah, people popping bubble wrap. Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
Mhm.
Translated into cat. Um,
because cats can't do that for two reasons: one,
No
they don't have
thumbs.
no thumbs, and two, they have claws. So if they try and pop bubble wrap, it'll just go.
Evidently, you've had very small cats. Ours could. I've had a couple pop a water bed, so one big balloon. Yes. Um, oh, you could blow up little party balloons and throw them on the floor and let the cats chase them until their claws come out. And that cat will never chase another balloon again. Let me tell you. This is a lesson you don't have to teach them. It is self-taught.
Mhm. Well, gentlemen, I'm actually going to take off. I got to work in the morning, so
All
I
right.
feel your pain, believe me.
I got about 2 hours worth of printing to do.
oof.
I told you not to sit on the Xerox machine.
Uh, I keep saying, I keep saying every event that we go to, I keep saying I'm not going to be up all night printing everything off, getting everything ready, and here I am the night before we leave.
Mm-hmm.
Sending those faxes of your butt can wait until tomorrow morning now, Joe. Come on.
No, these are long form dealer contracts. I got to have those.
Gentlemen, I'll see you next week,
All right.
and have a good weekend.
Yeah.
You
Good night, Joe. Have a
See you,
safe
Joe.
one. Be safe at work. Be sure to wear that high vis vest.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's well, one of the before I go, one of the other things we're supposed to wear doing night work when I start midnights is these little reflective leg bands. They're about, I don't know why the thing hates my, censoring my hand, but
Because it's out of
got
focus.
the
You got to bring it
background.
back just a little bit.
well, that or it thinks I'm trying to describe the size of something. That should be censored. No,
That was a
but
small
they're
fish.
but they're a couple inches big, and the end out was really big on them. But I got into an argument with our safety director about it. I said, "Why do I have to wear these?" Well, it makes you more visible at night. I looked at him and I said, "Jim, I wear a 4X vest. The only thing 2-inch little leg bands are going to do is make them look down and go, 'What the hell is that?' And then I am going to get hit."
When you've got a chest the size of a billboard,
Right.
and it's already dressed in neon, any other little duct tape sized reflective stuff is just going to be a distraction.
Right. At least that's my feelings on it. But you all have a good night. Talk to you guys later.
Good night.
See you, Joe.
Well, he's already gone. I was going to say thanks for coming.
Well, I mean, he might watch the replay of the rest of the show and still get the message. Thank you very much for being here, Mr. Bachman.
Yeah.
What's the matter, Joe? Didn't have enough coffee today?
Didn't have any coffee today. And there's nothing like just sitting in a hospital room.
I don't understand how you're functional without coffee. Oh, coffee. They've come up with a new design of coffee machine for the brand new break room at work.
Oh boy.
Yes. You get these little bitty styrofoam thimbles with coffee in them and a machine that dispenses hot water. And for $1 for a shot glass of coffee, I'm just looking at the machine and I'm going, I'm glad I got a Mr. Coffee in my lab. Oh, Lord.
That's when you start charging 35 cents for a cup of coffee.
No, this is $1. I mean,
No, you start charging 35 cents for a cup of coffee.
Oh, no. I just
because all the supervisors aren't going to pay $1 for a cup of coffee.
I don't want the supervisors in my lab. Maintenance men, I don't mind, but the supervisors, they can make their own coffee. They're making management money. They can go to the office people's Keurig machine and get free coffee. I just use the little packets of the single cup instant. I keep about a week's worth in my little toolbox that's taking the place of my locker at the moment because we have no locker room right now. And I make my own coffee. All I need is hot water and a cup.
Ace Hardware in Ringgold started carrying Black Rifle coffee.
You ought to get some, John. 1 cup. I'm going to tell you, 1 cup makes the marine coffee sort of stand up and give it a salute.
What I did here recently, I ordered some of the Waking Dragon coffee through the people that Ted Davies gets his coffee from.
Guys, this is killing me. I'm going to have to jump out of here because I know I've got to get this stuff printed and everything and try to get some sleep because I got a 2-hour drive in the morning.
It's okay, yeah. We still got 25 minutes or so. If you get to a place where you're not having to stand there and feed paper in, you can pop
Yeah.
back.
I'll try.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. Good night, Joe.
Good night, guys. Appreciate it.
Not Joe.
See you, Joe Dog.
All the Joes are bowing out tonight.
But we know so many more.
We need a
Paging
replacement
Mr.
Joe.
McPhee.
We need a replacement Joe.
When you said McPhee, I was thinking of,
Mr. McFeely.
yeah, Mr. McFeely. You knew exactly what I was going to say. I was going to say speedy delivery.
Yep. I have that sort of effect. Yes.
Good night, Sarah.
Good night. And I actually talked to Mr. McFeely, about 15, maybe 17 years ago.
Oh.
He was on WGN radio, used to have an overnight show that Nick DiGilio did.
Yeah.
And it was on the anniversary of Fred Rogers' passing. And they had the actor who played Mr. McFeely on the radio, and
wow,
telling all these wonderful stories about Fred Rogers. And so he was up for taking questions, and of course most people asked him, they said, was he really that way in real life, the way he was on camera, which of course obviously was 100% true. But I asked him, I said, when you went there on the set, what did you like to do the best off camera? And he said, play with the train or with the trolley.
Oh, yeah. I mentioned that was a lot of fun.
That took you to the land of make-believe or whatever it was called.
Yeah, Land of Make-Believe. I think that's right.
Yeah.
I started to say Magic Kingdom, but that's a different phrase.
Land of Make-Believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, this new camera angle here. I got a new desk chair, and it is taller than my old desk chair. So I had to raise the camera, and in order to keep from blocking out the entire screen, I had to set it off to one side. So now I'm kind of leaning off to one side here so that I can look dead in the camera and still not look like I'm off in left field or something. But we all know I usually am.
This thing that holds my tablet, which clamps to the side of my computer desk, I'm always waiting for it because it comes down and kind of grabs onto the top and bottom of the tablet. And I'm waiting for it to spew it out and dive to catch it.
Mm-hmm.
It's really bad. And when I don't use the tablet, I have one of these to set them on, which I wish they made one like this, but a lot taller, because then I would have more faith in it not ending up on the floor or in 10 different pieces. But
with the old camera, the only thing that was covered up was like the leave studio button at the bottom of the screen if you got ops. Mm-hmm. And now, if I were to put the camera where it had been before and not taller, you'd get a great view up my sinuses, basically. So I had to raise the camera in order to spare the innocent women and children and men with weak constitutions in our audience. So now it's off to the side. I could set it back in the middle, but it would pretty much be blocking out the entirety of Bill's face, or I can send it off to the other side and I'll never be able to see the chat. So I've just got it off in a harmless direction, mostly.
Well,
harmless.
if they were looking up your nose, they would just be thinking that we were talking about Merrimack Caverns or something, and John was sharing a picture of it.
Either that or they'd be looking for the Bluebird of Happiness.
Yeah. Jesse James Hideout.
Carl's Bad Cavern. Yeah. Oh, somebody once called the back seat of the model of one of the cars that I used to drive that, because it was basically a 2-door non-station wagon, but station wagon size. So the back seat was like a luxury apartment, or one of those efficiency apartment sized, and it's just, you know, a car back seat, but had a lot of room back there. And I think when I first bought the car, I opened the trunk to check and see what kind of jack that it had and the spare tire. And I had an audience, so I had to play up and open it up, look inside, and go, Jimmy Hoffa, and slam the trunk. There was like a racquetball court sized trunk in there. I mean, good grief. This car was huge. A Chevy Caprice in the mid 70s.
His dad had one.
They had like a lot of nice trunk space.
Yeah.
Only problem is the trunk lid was too big and heavy, and the trunk latches, the things that hold your trunk up, the springs, would always break. So you wind up having to like keep a 2x4 in the trunk of your car to hold the trunk lid up.
I never ran into that problem. I didn't open the trunk long enough to wear out the springs.
There were a lot of Chevy Blazers that when you would open up, instead of dropping down the tailgate, you were just opening up the top of it. Those wore out really bad. And I always remember people driving a Chevy Blazer when I was working at Lowe's, and if we were helping them load 2x12s or something in the back of their Blazer, they said, hang on a minute, and they got this broomstick or whatever to prop it up open so that it would stay up. And
you know, those air shocks are not that expensive, and they're not that hard to replace.
But you think they'd last a little longer? Not
any bigger than that. I mean, they're barely bigger than a kindergarten pencil in diameter. So they're not those little seals are going to wear out after a while, especially if you buy groceries every week or whatnot, tailgate, anything. I need to start thinking about replacing the pair on the back hatch of the van, because I have noticed that my wife can load and unload groceries with no problem, but occasionally I will thump my head on the tailgate. Lewis, whoa, here.
I get it.
Hey, Lewis.
I tried to get you in here earlier because I wanted you to do the Mike Tyson story.
Oh. Don't know what's going on.
Oh, really? You've been stuck in the man cave for too long? Or?
No, actually, I was hosting a debate for your Catoosa County chair.
Cool.
You don't look like you had a good time.
Catoosa County
Was the chair comfortable, Lewis?
No, I was standing the entire time, and good thing. Surely would have fallen asleep.
Yeah, they are definitely not the most
not the
entertaining group. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
well,
Mike Tyson.
How's work going?
Smooth.
Good.
I mean, I've never been busier than after I retired.
Well, yeah, you got time to work on the side job now.
Well, you see, but that's the thing. I've been doing nothing but the side job for years. I finally
should be good at it by now.
Payment, and now all of a sudden, I got to worry about how much work I'm getting done.
Well, to sum up the Mike Tyson thing, he was on an airplane. A drunken idiot behind him asked for an autograph, got pissed off when Mike wouldn't sign an autograph because he's on an airplane. He's not at a show or anything. Drunken idiot threw a water bottle at the back of his head. Mike goes, "You're about to be introduced.
I'm the heavyweight champion of the world."
And basically, any justice of the peace or judge that hears this is going to go, justice has been served. You owe your lawyer, Mike's lawyer, and me all the court fees. Thank you very much. And you're lucky I don't beat the crap out of you too.
When Webster's puts out their next edition of the dictionary, next to the definition of stupid, it's going to have that guy's picture, and under the definition of stupid, hitting Mike Tyson in the back of the head with a water bottle on an airplane because you don't like, And the guy's being a total, groupie, and say, "Hey, Mike Tyson, so can I get a picture with you?" And Mike's like, "Sure." And so gets a picture. And he's talking to us. So Mike's like, "I got this long flight. So if you don't mind, I'm just gonna sit up here and take care of my business." And he did it. The guy was extremely intoxicated, I believe was what the news report says. And
someone's got video of it.
Everybody on the plane.
Yeah, I think TMZ was the first one that showed it, but yeah,
you could do bullet time for all of the different camera angles.
I don't like their tactics, but you can't argue with their results. Back when Michael Jackson passed away, TMZ had it on first, and I was like, I don't know about those guys. We'll wait until we hear it from AP or ABC
and everybody else copied the TMZ link
hours before anybody else did, and they had it right. So, they gained a little respect from me as far as their accuracy. I don't necessarily agree with their tactics, but
I won't say they're paparazzi. I think they're a little better than that. They're not quite that disgusting.
One step. They're like educated cockroaches.
They're like the TV version of the National Enquirer.
Yes.
Which the National Enquirer does get some things right. I won't debate that, but
when Hillary Clinton had Bigfoot's baby, okay, they got it first.
Yeah.
No, that was the Sun.
Oh, I thought it was Chelsea.
It was.
Wait a minute. It could have been the Weekly World News.
Yeah.
Mirror likes that juicy stuff too.
Yeah. Lindsay's always warning me about which British paper is a rag and which ones are respectable. And I'm going, well, if it isn't the Time, I'm good. If it isn't the London, the Times, I'm going to assume they're a rag,
Yeah.
I got one for you, Lewis. Have you seen recently that all the news pages, when you click on it on Facebook, they'll give you the options at the bottom of sharing it with different things. So they've changed that to one menu now. It's not a whole bunch of little icons.
Mm-hmm.
But right next to it, they've got this thing. How do you rate this news? Have you seen this?
No.
They actually let you rate news stories as to whether or not you think it was a well-told news story or whether you think it was a piece of journalistic crap.
This could go bad in so many ways.
Yeah, man, let me see if I can find one here real quick.
By the way, Dan, I've been trying to get on for about 20 minutes, but Chrome, for some reason, kept saying that it doesn't have authorization for the camera and mic anymore. So I went round and round with my Apple settings trying to authorize it. Finally, I just shut Chrome down, restarted it, and came up. But wow.
Yeah,
anyway,
I've had like 4 Chrome updates in the last 2 weeks. So it may be that the updates are not talking very well with the other in-laws.
But I did see you talking about your shingles, and
yeah, I did take some leave, and that does ease the pain quite a bit. But
I got my shingles vaccines last September, so
good for you.
Yeah,
good for you.
And I'm getting my pneumonia vaccine this spring. So
I didn't know there was one for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is a vaccine for pneumococcal pneumonia.
Oh, okay.
Kind that most old people get.
I just saw a thing on my chart app that I have connected with both of my doctors that said that I was overdue for my pneumonia shot, and looking to get that and get the second booster whenever Walgreens makes it available.
I'm still trying to decide if I want to go ahead and get the second booster or not. I mean, there's no reason not to, but
Exactly.
I've already survived COVID, and I have had the vaccine and the booster. The booster was October, so.
Well, and I've said it before, and I'll say it a million times more again. I've not gotten any of the shots for myself, from the first one all the way up to the first booster. I got them for my best friend's 87-year-old father. I got them for my elderly cousin who comes on here every night in the comments, and for all the senior citizens that live in a lot of the apartments around me, and that we go to the auction on Friday nights, a lot of older people there, because I'm not worried about me contracting it. I'm more worried about me being a carrier and giving it to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's very admirable. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Good night, Nick. He's got to go crash.
I'm totally pro-vaccine. I'm not. You know, I don't have any worries about the vaccine. It's just
I haven't gotten any of the boosters yet. So
I am looking forward to getting the second booster whenever it gets scheduled at the place where we have our on record.
It's a small needle.
I mean, I was a kid in the 60s. I've been vaccinated against everything except depression. You know?
But you survived the depression.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I learned a lot from my parents and grandparents that had also survived the depression. And now I know how to hunt my own food and fish and can potatoes and whatnot. Grow gardens.
Well, once again, getting back to this, if I could survive the bone marrow biopsy that I went through on Monday with a needle size of a ballpoint pen, I can survive another one of these shots or a pneumonia shot. Or
really, it's trivial. The shot itself does not hurt a bit. It's just once the vaccine gets in your system, there's going to be a physical reaction, and it's everybody differently. Some people don't have any side effects whatsoever. Some people feel like they got the flu for a day or two. Some people, it's a little bit stronger than that, but it's still trivial compared to being on a respirator in a hospital.
Yeah, and I'm one of the ones that had no side effects, did not feel bad at all, anything.
Sore shoulder for a day. That was it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
I had worse side effects from my first shingle shot than I did the other. Man, I could to raise my arm above that. It was horrible. And I'm like, oh my God, what's the second one? And when I was due to get the second one, that's when COVID started. And that pushed me up a few months. And I thought, oh no, am I going to have to start over and get 2 more shots? And they said, oh no, you just get the second one. And Laura told me, yeah, the second one is nothing compared to the first shingle shot, and she was right. It was nothing at all.
Yeah. Yeah. I usually tend to get my shots in the right shoulder because I'm left-handed. Mm-hmm. Oh man, but I hold my cameras in my right hand.
Ooh.
I couldn't do anything for about 3 or 4 days after that shingle shot.
Mm. Well, if for like the COVID vaccine, I was trading off shoulders because they were not that far apart, but and I really, the pain from the shot itself, I mean, at the time of the shot was nothing. Yeah. The soreness of my arm after the shot, day or two, I mean, as long as I can still put my shirt on, put my coat on, put my hat on, I'm doing okay. I'm technically I'm what you'd call neither-handed. I was born left-handed and had a second grade teacher that was a steel ruler type, so I had to learn how to use my right hand predominantly. So now I've got hideous handwriting with my right hand, and I can't do anything with my left hand except work a computer mouse. And I have been known to really freak out people at work with had the full-size keyboard and had the mouse, and I'm sitting there. I put the mouse over on the left-hand side, highlight stuff with my left hand, use the number pad with my right hand, and I was going faster than most of them could do anything.
Yeah, I'm ambidextrous too because I started out left-handed, and a teacher tried to make me write with my right hand, and my mom went to school and gave her what for.
Well, unfortunately, I didn't tell my parents that I was no longer allowed to be left-handed. It came as a sudden shock to them that all of a sudden I had switched hands. They didn't know why. Well, I felt like I had done something wrong. So I was being punished, and I didn't want to be punished further by my parents for having inadvertently done something wrong. So as a kid, you get these ideas in your head that an authority figure has said you're wrong and you must do this. Your parents are going,
oh, you know what time it is?
Seems like it just started.
Really, you just got here.
Yeah, really. Well,
you know, I think that there are probably more native left-handers who are ambidextrous than right-handers, and the main reason for that is, as left-handers, we've had to adapt to a right-handed dominant world. When I use scissors, I use my right hand. I don't use my left hand. I don't even know if I could cut a straight line with my left hand.
You got to get left-handed scissors.
Yeah, really. You got scissors are handed.
Right. So I put it in the hand that felt better. Playing golf. We couldn't afford left-handed golf clubs. We could buy, second-hand right-handed clubs all day long for nothing, but left-handed clubs were a special order, and you had to pay extra for it. I learned how to play golf right-handed. So,
that's like with me.
But I'll throw left-handed.
Yeah, I was born left-handed, and I had the same people with the little pagan rituals that said, you're going to go to the devil if you continue to be left-handed, and you just want to go, bah, and scare the little beliefs but anyway, and mom and dad, mom being the good Catholic she didn't want to cause any waves, but she said, well, Bill, see if you can try to learn how to write right-handed, which I did. And I can only write right-handed now because you know, I was smacked with that same ruler that probably you and Dan were, but I can pitch left-handed. I can bat left-handed. I can play a lot of songs on my bass left-handed, even though I'm predominantly right-handed on it.
You're just the opposite of me. The only thing that I do with my left hand is right and throw. That's it. I kick with my right foot, you know, like a football or a soccer ball. Kick with my right foot. I shoot right-handed, which is good because the ejection port's on the outside.
Yeah.
I tell you, you will raise some eyebrows playing pool when you reach a difficult shot and you just swap hands and make that shot.
I can. I do play pool with both hands.
Yes. That is a wonderful ability to have, and you can win a bit that way.
You try to make I just switch hands. You know.
Yep.
Well, and that's like my coach during when I played Little League Baseball. They loved the fact that I was a switch hitter.
Well, we gotta hit the end of the show here so I can start the next show, and y'all are welcome to join me. Otherwise, I'm going to sit there and sleep for 5 hours.
Out too early.
Thanks for showing up. I really was hoping to get here in time.
We have missed you, Lewis. We have really missed you.
Hasn't been right. And since I was so late getting home after the debate tonight, I figured, what the hell? I'll just jump in for the last half hour, and now I have to do my day job.
Oh,
yeah.
It's 11 o'clock.
And doing it at night.
Well, the stories have to be there for him at 6 o'clock in the morning. So I ain't at 5. So
thank you for showing up, Lewis. Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Good
Bill.
having you in
thank
here
you,
as long as you did.
And thank you. Let's see who else was on the show tonight. Nick Hockard showed up. And
Nick,
Sarah,
Ryan, Michaela.
Cast of thousands.
Yes.
That's about it.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and exit this show. I got 30 seconds.
You do that, I'll do this.
All righty. Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Bye, con Dios, amigos.
I have slept the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, when never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand and touched the face of God.